Good morning, good morning. What's going on, peoples? What's going on? Sometimes you have to just sit back and be graceful. You know what I'm saying? We should, as in people, we should always look at trying to want something better for ourselves. And meaning that if you want something better than yourself, not being, simple with it or being selfish with it. I'm talking about literally wanting yourself to become a better person. That means that you have to look at the good and the bad, the positive and the negative of yourself. You got to. Because if you only want the best for yourself to things that you want and desire to only be things that grow, then that means that you're living in delusion. Because how could I only want one side of me? If I'm saying that I want to be the best version of myself, I want to be the best man, I want to be the best father, I want to be the best friend, how can I do that without evaluating me as a whole? Meaning I gotta not only look at my positive attributes, but I also need to look at my negative attributes when it comes down to people, how I deal with them, how I understand them. If I call you a friend, then I'm going to treat you like a friend. If you're an associate, I'm going to treat you like an associate. If it's a dude that I don't mess with like that, hey, it is what it is. I just don't fuck with you like that. I mean, and that's hard for me because, I don't come off as if, it's about me. What I do come off is that if I call you a friend, I call you a friend. If I don't, I don't. If I fucks with you, I fuck with you. That's just how it is. I don't play around with people's emotions and checks and balances like that. That's just not who I am. A lot of people, they can play this game really, really good, and you gotta understand whether or not you realize it or not. Chess is being played. You just don't even know that you're playing the game. But chess is being played. It's being played at your expense. It's being played at an expense that you don't even realize how to play chess. You don't know the movement of the chess players. And you definitely don't know the object of the game. The game is not for the queen to remain. The game is for the king to survive. Understand that. That's a very, very, very big statement. Anyone who knows how to play chess knows that a pawn can clear across the board and become whatever it is that they want to become. Whether they want to become a rook, a bishop, a knight, or a queen. So, based upon their servitude, they can determine whether or not they want to become the bishops, meaning the legal, the legislative, the representatives, the House, all of these people that speak for everyone else. They're the voice. Then you have the bishop, which is the religious portion of it. So now you got religion, you got legal, executive order, and now you have the knight, which is enforcement, police, detectives. things of that nature. They've understood the fact that this game represents so much of life. We just don't know it. We sit back and we, oh, let's not forget, they can also become a queen. They can never become a king, but they can become a queen. Now, a lot of people always say queen is the most important piece on the board. Some people say that, but if you truly understand chess, you'll sacrifice a queen for the good of the kingdom. Only when that king puts himself in position, whereas he allows for every piece on the board to work for what it's supposed to work for, whether it's for aligning, whether it is for strategic, whether it is just trying to be 10 moves ahead so that you can predict what's going to happen. That's a very educated way of looking at it, because it's not about feeling, it's not about emotions, it's about logic. It's about logic. And where would I want to stay if I am an unsensible man? I want to stay in chaos, turmoil, because that's what's familiar with me. But once I've tasted the difference between flank steak, filet, ribeye, porterhouse, once I've tasted the different levels of meat that comes off of the same cow, but different portions of the body is completely different. Man, it's hard to, once you have seen something, been somewhere, it's hard for you to say, I'm gonna go back down. Because you've acquired a taste for it. Aristocrats, holler at me. Taking orders. Great composition of a cigar. It's been a long time and a lot of talk, with me trying to do a lot of different things, but the one thing that I do know, and that if I stay persistent, God will make a way. And so I just look at it as progression. When you get told the word no so much, you can let it embellish you as a person. But when I keep getting up and I keep letting that no get to a maybe, that maybe into a let's talk, or let's talk into, you know what, dude, I just want to see if it's gonna go, because you truly believe that it's gonna go, and I think that's the process of a determining being, that, hey man, watch out, because if once they get lit, they ain't gonna produce nothing but flames, and it's gonna be long going flames. So you got to look at it, what it is. I just think that I allow for people to be who they are, and I allow for people to give me whatever it is they want to give. And then I'll be a determining factor on whether or not I want to have a conversation or engage. Because every situation it's not meant for me to engage into. But if I can engage into someone and speak in someone and let the words that come to me flow through me to that person, then guess what? My job is done. Because I was used as a vessel. I don't get the credit for it. No. I was just a vessel. Comes up to another subject. And I had no intentions of even saying this. I really didn't. But I wanted to, just based on the words of what I just said, we look at life as a situation. And you got a lot of conversations with, females saying, hey, they are the creators. I think that statement is stated because you want to know what you want to make sure that everyone knows your value. Because life cannot be created without the fire, the seed, without the swimmer to get to you. Because the eggs are laying in a one position situation. As soon as it pops, you got millions of life forms flowing for one goal. First one is not the one that always gets in. It's the one that finds a sweet spot to understand the position of where he is. And he sees the crack in the hole. And he goes for it. And he becomes a winner. Now, 2 bodies have come together to create now a flame. 2, not 1, 2. So the first part is taken care of as far as that feeding the seed, feeding the egg, coming to the egg. How we go through the process of getting to that. Now, it takes 9 months to incubate. For it to take all the nutrients in, and for it to take all the information, embodiments, and imprints of both parties to imprint that soul. And that's supposed to be able to give it the strength to be able to walk and have the basic instincts of when they come into this world. This is what, here it is, build from this. Now, based upon the intelligence level, the breathing, the oxygen level, the nutrients, all of those things that feed into that host, that egg. Some have the capability of being able to decipher sounds, tastes, music, arts. They're imprinted with so many different facets. So now, these kids come out and they're born. Then it becomes the responsibility of 2 people to protect now 1, maybe 2, however many you have. It's both of you guys' responsibility to protect everything that is coming from you 2. That's some deep shit, man, when you really look at it. Hey man, sometimes you have to sit back and reflect. And for me, it's being in spaces where I can truly listen. See, sometimes you gotta. I used to do something when I was younger, man. When I used to manage recording artists and stuff like that. You know, a little small stint or things like that. You know, if I used to do interviews at strip clubs, guys coming in, they're looking for management. I would do an interview at a strip club, and my reasoning of it is that if I could sit here and I can have a conversation with you about business in an environment like this, and you are concentrating on what we're having to say, that shows me that you can be amongst a lot of different things and you can still stand on what it is that you need to stand on. If I'm in here with you and all of it, with everything that's going on, and your mind is just, you hear, you, man, she driving it over here, but look what she's doing over here, bam, baby, and then, that means that you can't concentrate. That means that you can't focus. Mind games are being played by people and you don't even know that the game is being played. Aristocrats. Hey, nothing better tasting to me. But I might be a little biased with that too, so it is what it is. Listen, life is short. I don't care how much we sit back and we try to, do all these games. The years are shorter. As you get older, your years become shorter because you understand the value of time. When you're young, you don't value time. And when you don't value time or respect time, time has a way of letting you know, hey, you better pay attention. You better pay attention. That's what I like about this. I can take a couple of puffs off of it and put it down, let it breathe, let it do what it do, let it come into its own natural thing. Then, I pull it back up. And bring it back. And got wonderful notes, oakiness. Just a great balance. And it's Cameroon. For your people that know about Cameroon, hell, it is what it is. It's an acquired taste. It's very smooth. It has a very smooth finish to it. It's almost like an elegance. And with that elegance, the people that understand it, they're gonna get it. The ones that don't, it maybe ain't for them. Everybody can't understand the difference between Dom and some $10 brand. Some people can't understand the difference between an aged steak and something that they put a lot of seasonings on to make it taste. You eat that type of meat because of the taste. It's almost carnivorous. It is. You know, you just love the taste of the meat. So you want the taste of little seasonings with it. Some people, medium well. I'm not a big fan of medium well. Takes too long to digest. And you're taking a lot of the flavor out of it. But that's just me. But it's hard that once you taste that type of thing to try to go back. You know, that goes back to the original situation, was that once your eyes have been open, it's hard for you to close them. Once God has touched your life, it's hard to not understand who He is. And you got to be able to understand that. And that's a part of growth. That is a part of growth. You got to deal with that. You got to figure it out. Smoke well, my friends, and enjoy. I enjoy our conversations. You know, support me. Support me. Like it. Subscribe. Share. Comment. Send me a post-it note. Find out where I'm at. Enjoy a cigar with me. And let's have some good conversation. Conversation that can be enlightening. It can be funny. It can be spiritual. It can be historical. It can be about history. Let's just sit back and start having genuine conversations.